A miracle at Maha Kumbh Mela. The sun had barely risen over the scared city of Prayagraj, casting golden hosts over the endless waves of people gathered at Maha Kumbh Mela. The air was thick with the scent of incense, the sound of bhajans, and the distant echoes of coach bells. It was a day of devotion, a day of faith, but for one family it became the day their world shattered. A family's worst nightmare, 1989. Among the millions walking towards the Sangam where the Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati rivers meet was the Sharma family, Mohan, Sita and their two sons. Arjun was 5 years old and Ravi was 3 years old. Sita gripped their hands tightly. Hold on to me, she kept saying, her heart pounding with anxiety. The crowds pushed forward like a mighty tide, unrelenting and unstoppable. Then, in a single moment of choice, her fingers slipped. A group of pilgrims surged between them. Someone pushed forward, another stumbled back. Sita gasped, looking down. Arjun and Ravi were gone. The cryings of the children were swallowed by the sea of voice around them. Arjun, Ravi, Mohan shouted, his voice lost in the air. For hours, the desperate parents searched, running from the police boat to lost and found tents, asking strangers, showing their sons tiny photographs, but Kumbha was too vast and their child had vanished into its depths. Days turned into weeks. The festival ended. The crowds disappeared. Hope faded. With shattered hearts, Mohan and Sita returned to their village, carrying only prayers and flickers hope that maybe, just maybe, their sons were still alive. Growing up apart, hundreds of miles away, destiny had different plans for the lost brothers. Arjuna was found by a kind-hearted priest in Varanasi who took him in and raised him in the temple. He learned scriptures, chanted prayers, and as years passed, he became a devoted saint, guided pilgrims who came searching for peace. Ravi, on the other hand, was taken in by a childless couple in Mumbai. They gave him love, a home, and a name, but something always felt incomplete. He grew up among the hustle of the city, working in a small shop, never understanding why he felt like a part of him was missing. Years passed, then decades, and the memories of the lost childhood began to blur until fate intervened. Kumbh Mela 2019, a divine plan. It had been 30 years since the tragic day. The Maha Kumbh had returned to Prayagraj, grander than ever. The river banks overflow the devotees, ascetics, and seekers, and all gather in search of salvation. Among them was Arjun, now a revered saint, leading pilgrims in prayers, and for reason he couldn't explain. Ravi, now a businessman, had came to visit Kumbh Mela for the first time in his life. As Ravi walked through the crowd, a strange familiarity, a pull towards something unknown. Then through the hum of chanting, he heard a bhajan playing in the distance. He stopped in his tracks. This song, why do I know it? A memory flashed, a woman's voice singing to him in a small home long ago. His heart pounded as he followed the sound, pushing through the crowd, and there standing by the holy river was a saint in saffron robes, guiding devotees. Ravi stared at the man's face. He seemed familiar, but why? And then his eyes fell upon a small scar of the man's forehead. His scar is remembered from his childhood. Tears welled up in his eyes. Saint Arjun froze. His breath caught his throat. He turned slowly, meeting Ravi's gaze. For a moment, silent. Then recognition struck like lightning. Ravi. Time stood still. The crowd around them blurred as the two brothers rushed towards each other, embracing, sobbing, overwhelmed by 30 years of longing. The Kumbh Mela, which had once torn them apart, had brought them back together. When they their journey wasn't over yet. The final reunion. Arjun and Ravi had one more person to find their parents. With the help of the old records, social media, and a kind journalist, they traced their childhood home. And there, in a small village, they found an elderly couple sitting outside their house staring at a flickering lamp. They had never stopped praying. When Sita saw them, she didn't believe it at first. Her hands trembled, her breath caught in her chest. Arjun, Ravi, she whispered, and then time folded up upon itself. The two brothers fell at their mother's feet, crying. She collapsed into their arms, wailing with joy and grief of lifetime. Mohan stood frozen, his whole eyes unable to believe what they were seeing, and then broke down, embracing his lost son. A miracle had happened. The power of faith. The next morning, the reunited family stood at the banks of Ganga, hand in hand as the first rays of the sun touched the river, and they stepped into the holy waters together, cleansing away 30 years of sorrow. The Maha Kumbh Mela had given them a second chance as they left floating lamps and released them into the river. Arjun whispered, "Some stories are written by faith itself." And as the lamps drifted away, one faith became clear. Some miracles are meant to happen. A story of faith, destiny, and miracles. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and to inspire daily for more real stories of hope and destiny. What do you think? Was it faith or was it fate that brought them back together? Let us know in the comments. Thank you.